Good morning, Vietnam! Oh, shit. Bald Brad Show viewers! It is good to see all of you this fine morning. We were on time. And I don't know how things are looking for you, but I know for me, I got a lot of spinning wheels of death, a lot of delayed load times on all my show prep that I have up here, as you can see. Maybe I got too much going on. I'm not exactly sure, but web pages would not load. So we'll kind of see how everything goes here. But hopefully your morning's going better than mine. Holy shit, this thing is crazy. But that is one thing I have learned doing a live show. You never know what's going to happen. And I think you guys felt the same way during the Trump assassination attempt. Maybe other shows. You just never know what's going to happen technology-wise, breaking news. And you always got to be ready. And what's the phrase? Flying at the seat of your pants or something like that? I don't know. The oldies will get it. You guys will let me know. But it's good to see you. And wow, we got a lot of news to cover. And a lot of video to cover here at the beginning. So I hope you're ready to laugh because I have this set up to where a comedian is going viral. Now, I posted a TikTok late last night, about a little late. When I say late, I'm talking like 6 o'clock. That's late for me in terms of posting something. And has almost 100,000 views already. And it has to do with Shane Gillis, who I love and adore. I've told you guys many times, and I think my humor, or sense of humor, I should say, has sneaked out a few times. Okay, just a few times. And I love comedy. It is a thing that probably has contributed greatly to me not having a problem with depression. I find everything funny. It's gotten me in trouble at times. I used to be kicked out of classrooms at times. And it wasn't because I was a bad kid. It was because the bad kid said something funny, or the teacher said something funny. And they said, "What's so funny?" And I said, "Well, you. That's what's funny. You made me laugh." And you get kicked out. Or, inappropriate times. The coach ripping somebody a new asshole in the locker room. And that sounded really bad, didn't it? We were in college. Not that that's any better. But you get what I'm saying. And you start laughing. And, when you're the assistant captain or the captain of the team, it's not a good look. But by the way, funny thing is, when I said rip them a new asshole, that was the first time I ever heard that phrase was in the locker room. Where my coach comes in, he says, "That team's fucking ripping you a new asshole." I could not contain myself. I really couldn't. It was the funniest thing. Luckily, I didn't get in trouble then. But anywho, so I love comedy. We need to make comedy great again. Shane Gillis is one of the greats. I love roast comedy. Absolutely adore it. I watch Tony Hinchcliffe's Kill Tony every Monday. If you're wondering, and I'm not exaggerating, if you're wondering what I'm doing every Monday evening, I am watching Kill Tony for 2-3 hours straight. So Shane Gillis, who's a stand-up comedian, he's a goat, savage, greatest of all time, however you want to phrase it. ESPYs Monologue took aim at Caitlin Clark, Aaron Rodgers, Trump, everyone else. And there was pushback. People didn't like it because people are softies. Comedian Shane Gillis spared no one in the ESPY Awards, and I got footage galore. Opening monologue on Wednesday night, roasting everyone from Caitlin Clark to Aaron Rodgers to President Donald Trump to Met star Juan Soto and everyone in between. In the same vein as Macdonald, I think he's talking about Norm Macdonald, the late, great Norm Macdonald. Gillis kicked off his hosting duties with a biting monologue. So we have that geared up for you here. Let's I wasn't going to show the whole monologue, but if I can find it really quick, let's just go ahead and do that if you guys are okay with it. There's a bunch of different clips, but when he's the type of comedian he is, there's not much gaps in between his jokes, and might as well see if we could watch the whole thing here. Here we go. We'll do this. We'll see what we got here. Let's have some fun this morning.
SGA is here. Give it up for SGA. Hell yeah, bro. And now everybody sitting around him is in foul trouble. Joe Rogan actually wanted me to be here to host this award show so that I could capture Adam Silver because Joe thinks he's an alien. and Donald Trump wanted me to be here to capture Juan Soto for the same reason. It's an alien joke. Wait, who booed up there, dude? Shut up. Donald Trump wants to stage a UFC fight on the White House lawn. The last time he staged a fight in D.C., Mike Pence almost died.
Oh, boy. Oh,
you don't have to do that. It was fine. I didn't write it. Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that. The New York Knicks had a great season. Yeah, hell yeah. Karl Anthony Towns is here. Hey, girl. Shedeur Sanders had his jersey number retired at Colorado this year, and people are saying it's because of nepotism, because of his father, and it's not. It's because he went 13-12 over his career, and he almost won the Alamo Bowl. Definitely not nepotism, right? All right. It's a big year for the WNBA. I love Caitlin Clark. Yeah, hell yeah. Caitlin Clark, she and I have a lot in common. We're both whites from the Midwest who have nailed a bunch of threes. There you go. Lighten up a little.
Pat McAfee loves it.
This is not serious.
It's hard to tell, but it's pretty quiet for this. Like, that's why he's making that. It's been brought up in articles how people were like kind of silent at times, like they didn't know if they could laugh or not, or if they may have not found it funny. So that's why he's making these points of like, hey, like, lighten up. It's fine. It's just a joke. Like, what? They're great jokes.
We'll see about this one. When Caitlin Clark retires from the WNBA, she's going to work at a Waffle House so she can continue doing what she loves most, fist fighting black women. There's one thing I want to say before I get out of here, and this is a dumb joke. You guys aren't going to like it, but it's just a Norm Macdonald joke that I loved when he hosted the ESPYs, and I'm going to do it now. Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy this year. He's the first defensive player since Charles Woodson to win the Heisman. Congratulations, Travis Hunter, winning the Heisman. That's something they can never take away from you, unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case they can take that away from you. Well, see, a lot of you don't like me, and that's okay.
No, I don't.
And then,
God, that is so funny. So those are a few clips, or highlights, I should say, from his monologue. And it's crazy because when you find this, and you guys heard me talk about this before, all I do on social media is I take news articles and I talk about them, right? That's all I do. It's not like I'm making this stuff up. And what I have found is people go, well, who are the ones that are pushing back on Shane Gillis? I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anybody push back. Like, who are the people? I was like, the mainstream media and the attendees at the event. Like, those would be two just off the top of my head. Not to mention, I mean, you could just Google and see that it says, however, other jokes seem to divide the audience. Yeah. Some people were not happy about it, which is why you heard him say, like, hey, lighten up. It's just a joke. It's going to be okay. Gosh, really good job, though. And that's a comedian's job, right? To walk that line. And sometimes cross it and then come back over and then cross it again. That's what they do. And I think so many people are wound up so tight nowadays that, they're just big babies, man. They can't take a joke. I mean, how many times have you guys joked with me in the chat? You know what I mean? We have a good time here. I could take it. You know what I mean? And as can all of you. And that's the great thing about our community is I think none of us are sensitive. You know what I mean? And I think that's important. And I think that's also why the left probably doesn't like Donald Trump. Whereas maybe if they lightened up a little bit, they'd find the guy's pretty freaking funny. They go, okay, this guy's not as bad. He's great. He's an entertainer. So Shane Gillis's controversial ESPY monologue sparks outrage. So you can always check that out yourself. But people are upset here. Some people loved it, though. Shane Gillis has tricked the ESPYs. Oh, you got to see this. This is great. This joke did not appear in that one, but check this out. This is really funny. I swear, I thought this was Karine Jean-Pierre at first in the crowd.
Four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players. That's crazy. You clap for that.
That's crazy that you would clap for that. God, dude, I love comedy. Oh, man. Shane Gillis, Tony Hinchcliffe, Theo Vaughn. Oh, God. I mean, if you want to go to the classics, Sam Kinison was freaking hilarious back in the day. You would have recognized, if you don't know that name, Sam Kinison actually passed away on the 15 freeway way back when. And he was a history teacher in a movie with Rodney Dangerfield when Rodney Dangerfield went back to school. Oh God, I can't remember the movie off the top of my head. Just a classic though. But anywho, obviously Chris Farley was great. There's a bunch. It's early in the morning. It's early. All righty. So let's get more back in the news. But if you can hit that thumbs up button, folks, it does help support the show. We're getting off on a light start today. Hopefully you appreciate that. A little bit different. I figured, hey, let's start with some laughter and have a good time today before we get anything crazy. Something I'm actually excited about was Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump loves Coca-Cola. It was not Caddyshack. No. Caddyshack's great, but that's with Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase is one of the GOATs as well. Love him in any National Lampoon movie. I probably watch National Lampoon, not just National Lampoon, but Christmas Vacation, Vegas Vacation, at least once a year. You have to. Is Coca-Cola. So Donald Trump says Coca-Cola has agreed to use real sugar cane in United States. This is kind of good news. A lot of people like the Coke that they sell over in Mexico because I believe they have the real sugarcane one. Diet Coke consumer President Donald Trump said on Wednesday that after speaking to Coca-Cola, and I should ask my mom about this because my mom loves, how Donald Trump loves Diet Coke? That's Donald Trump to Diet Coke is what my mom is to Coca-Cola. The soft drink giant has agreed to use real cane sugar in its beverages in the United States. Quote, I have been speaking to Coca-Cola about using real cane sugar in Coke in the United States, and they have agreed to do so. I'd like to thank all of those in authority at Coca-Cola. This will be a very good move to them. You'll see it's just better. I've heard that it tastes better. I actually don't know this, but for those that are Coca-Cola lovers, I think you're really going to enjoy this. I've heard only good things about the Coca-Cola that has the real cane sugar in it. So Coke, the leading soda brand in the world, has been using high fructose corn syrup, a cheaper alternative to cane sugar. So your drink might increase in price, but it's kind of an offset. You're going to take a better flavor for better price. The use of high fructose corn syrup has been at the center of the debate among dietitians and health experts for years, as some studies have shown a link between high fructose corn syrup consumption and the obesity epidemic. Look, I've always said this, if you just go exercise, you can pretty much eat whatever you want. It's calories burned versus calories intake. Now, I'm oversimplifying it, but if you're eating 5,000 calories and you've only burned 2,000 calories because you're living a sedentary lifestyle, like you're sitting down, like doing a show or, just behind a desk, you're going to gain weight. It's not that big of a shocker. You would have to get out and move around. By the way, if you just go walk like 3 miles, if you want to make things simple, it's more than this, but you could burn 100 calories a mile if you just walked. Like if you just go pop in the headphones, listen to the Bald Brad show in the morning, you could walk 3 miles while listening to my show. I go run and listen to other people's podcasts and I'll go out for like an hour. You know what I mean? Just go, just pop in some headphones, listen to an audiobook or a podcast, and Bald Brad show in the morning, please, Bald Brad show. Have a good time. So there's for your Coca-Cola lovers. I love that. So here's the actual announcement itself from Gavin Newsom. And he's been such a smartass lately. Like this guy. He says, oh, thank God. I've totally forgotten about the Epstein files now. What else has this guy posted lately? 9 hours ago. Thank you, Gavin. Team is doing a great job. He also posted this with Trump and Epstein because Trump took a photo with Epstein. But you notice he doesn't want to post any other photos of like Barack Obama with Harvey Weinstein. He doesn't want to post any photos with Joe Biden and Jeffrey Epstein. It's just catered to one. And it's amazing. It's like, why are you getting involved, Gavin? Don't you have enough to worry about with the state of California? Aren't you busy enough? Shouldn't you be out there raking a fucking forest, you nut job? I'm sorry. I got a little out of my... I know it's early. We're having a good time. You're right. We were having a good time. We're not going to let Gavin ruin it for us, are we? Oh boy. I don't like Gavin. I know. Like, Brad, you told us. We get it. Top Jill Biden aide joins White House doc, takes the fifth in Biden health cover-up. So I guess everybody's just going to plead the fifth now all of a sudden. Everybody. Because this guy's brain wasn't working. What a weird looking head. Jesus. A top aide to former First Lady Jill Biden. You're thinking the same thing, right? Just weird way it, you know what I mean? It's just how it works. Yeah. Jill Biden pleaded the Fifth Amendment. Again, top aide to the First Lady pleaded the Fifth Amendment at his deposition on Wednesday, opting not to answer any questions regarding former President Joe Biden's health and cognitive state during his term in the White House. I mean, when people start pleading the fifth like this, come on. House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer said that he'd only ask Anthony Bernal, Jill Biden's chief of staff, 2 questions about the former president and revealed that Bernal had pleaded the fifth. He pleaded the fifth. I got to see. Hold on. I got to see this tweet. Oh, boy. This week, new reporting confirms President Biden's aide took unauthorized executive actions during his presidency amid his cognitive decline. It's no surprise that Anthony Bernal is pleading the Fifth Amendment to shield himself from criminal liability. During his deposition today, Mr. Bernal pleaded the fifth when asked if any unelected official or family members executed the duties of the president. Whoa. Uh-oh. Wow. And if Joe Biden ever instructed him to lie about his health. Those are 2 good questions. Those are great questions. This is a historic scandal. I think it's definitely historic. I think this is a greater cover-up than the Jeffrey Epstein files, is what I think. And Americans demand transparency and accountability. This is a crazy, crazy cover-up. When you have people taking the duties of the office of the presidency and not telling the American people about it is a massive deal. And of course it comes from the Democrat side, right? I mean, if there's a party to do it, if there's a party to make this happen, it would be the Democrat Party. Oh, you bet your booty it will. Oh boy. Jeez. I love it. I love it. So that's there for you. Smells of child trafficking. Just trafficking. You know, we just got done talking about Joe Biden, so I had to do a little bit of play on words there. Do you see what I mean, guys, when I put these articles together, I really, really try to give you a little bit of comic relief sometimes. Now, we went from Joe Biden, you know how he loves sniffing children, to smells of trafficking. I was so giddy to share that transition for you. I was just as giddy as a boy sharing his transition from male to female with his LGBTQ friends for the first time. I was so antsy about it. I was as giddy as Joe Biden was when he smells the perfume of an 8-year-old off out in the crowd. I was as giddy as Joe Biden gets when he's on the beaches of Delaware. Some of you spit out your coffee on that Joe Biden sniffing an 8-year-old. It's like 20 yards out. Where is she? It's not funny. It's actually really gross, but it's hilarious at the same time. Oh boy. Now this is some rough one. Believe it or not, these are not both males or females. I mean, that's the one thing with Asians. No, I mean, you can't really tell. You know what I mean? This could be both males. So we got couples, 21 children, all born via surrogacy, placed in protective custody. Oh boy, she 21 people. It appears to be a surrogacy scandal in California. It's amazing how my state always pops up. I don't try, I promise. By the way, I just read the headlines. There's nothing. Well, I guess this says it. I didn't see that. But other than that, this is all I read. I was like, this sounds cool. 21 children were reportedly all born of surrogate mothers, were removed from a home and placed into protective custody. The children were discovered with authorities, or when authorities went to investigate the suspected child abuse of a 2-month-old infant who suffered a traumatic head injury. We discovered numerous children, 15 to be specific. I think we could have used a different word here, or just left out the numerous children, because you might be thinking like, you found like 3, maybe 2. Oh, we found 15. Oh, okay, it's a lot. Ranging in ages from 2 months to 13 years old. Many of the children were birthed through surrogacy, and then the male and female at the residence took legal guardianship of those kids. How do you feed 15 people? Or 21 kids? It's crazy. The discipline, both verbally and physically, were severe to the point where it supported the belief that child abuse was occurring inside the home. Authorities later confirmed to the outlet that 21 children were in the home. A couple of them were boarded up in the walls or something, child abuse happens. 17 of whom were I'm sorry. Child abuse is not funny. It is not funny. Okay. The joke was not okay. I take it back. 17 of whom are 3 years of age or younger, according to witnesses. All 21 are in custody of the Department of Children and Family Services. The children were under the legal guardianship of, oh boy, it's early for this shit. I got to stop pulling articles of anybody that's Asian. You just can't do it, Guangzhong Hong. Oh, Jesus. Guangzhong Shuang Chang. Fing Fong Ring Rong. 65. There's a little bit better for me. There you go. Sylvia Zhang. See, that one's nice. There you go. 38. Both of whom, they're both, one's male, one's female? All right, moving on here. Both of whom were residing at the home. The pair were initially arrested for felony child endangerment, but reportedly released from custody. An arrest warrant has been issued for the nanny. What are these people doing for a living? Is surrogacy paying that well? You get a nanny and then you're feeding 21 people? What the hell? Anyway, there's not much left here. Looks like they're beating the crap out of their kids. I got to see what the comments are saying. You can't make me believe that God didn't have a hand in getting those poor babies out of there. Monsters really do exist. I wonder if they weren't using those children for organ donations. Lots of wealthy people in China need kidneys and livers and hearts. Sorry, you go to the comment section, man. Some people say some crazy stuff. There's some weird people out there, man. And I love it. I love the weirdos and psychos. Oh, boy. All right. Well, we got updates here with the Los Angeles riots that seem to have fizzled out, man. I thought these people really cared. I thought they did. They had us go. They had me going. I thought they actually cared. Remember, we're going to do this all summer. Yeah, sure you are, bitch. Oh, boy. I don't see him out there anymore, huh? What happened? So you have the Pentagon announcing just yesterday that 2,000 National Guardsmen sent to Los Angeles to quell the June riots would be withdrawn. Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell cited mission success as the reason for the withdrawal. Yeah, you guys lost is what he's saying. Yep. Mexico lost again. Now, the only thing we're taking this time is your pride. I mean, the few other times we took your land, I guess, according to you, and you never got it back. So we'll take your pride and you'll never get that back either. How about that? There you go. Rile them up a little bit, rough them up, get a little pissed off. What'd you fucking say? I'll kick your ass. Yeah, sure. Okay, come on, calm down. Go to work or something. I don't know. Take a breather. Thanks to our troops who stepped up to answer the call, the lawlessness in Los Angeles is subsiding. As such, the secretary has ordered the release of 2,000 California National Guardsmen from the Federal Protection Mission. Following an increase in apprehension rates by ICE agents in the Los Angeles area in early June, protests against the federal agents broke out. Videos quickly surfaced of rioters throwing bricks and Molotov cocktails at armored vehicles. So there you go. All right, rock on. So we're getting out of Los Angeles. Good for them. I'm sure they're stoked. The place is stinky, smelly. Gavin Newsom brags about it, but it's, it's pretty bad out there, man. It's pretty. When you got people like this roaming around, look at this, with like the cutoff shirt, the Mexican flag, and the buzzed hair. I mean, and the guy covers his face because, well, we know why. Not a shred of ounce of credibility from this individual right here. I mean, I've always said this, and I'm as serious as a heart attack. I will exchange every socialist and communist with an illegal immigrant that wants to assimilate here and has been here for 20 years. I will trade that all day. And I'm as serious as the guy that's working, has a family, and wants citizenship. If you could find somebody that's a communist or socialist and doesn't assimilate and acts like this nut job here, I will trade you all day. You get that guy's citizenship or gal's citizenship, and they get deported. 1 for 1. I think it's a great idea. Chris says, I've been to LA once, wasn't a fan. I've been to LA a lot, and I'm not a fan. I'm a LA Kings fan, but I am not a fan of LA. I don't go there. Like I said, I go there for like, if I'm going to see something at the Pantages or Universal Studios, I don't even go there anymore. I just have no reason really to go up there. It's a shithole, man. It is. I mean, I was trying to not be, there's poop I don't need to relay this, right? Homeless everywhere, poop everywhere, feces everywhere. I mean, that's how Democrats run the show. That's what they love. Yep. They love it. They won't clean it up, but they'll move away from it. That's the thing. They vote for it, but move away from it. Gotcha. Republican Congresswoman pushes mass amnesty bill for illegal aliens. I don't know where she's from, but we're about to find out. So everybody that is this person's constituent probably need a voter out. Here we go. Maria Salazar, a Republican from Florida, is leading an effort to prevent the deportation of an untold number of illegal aliens, offering them a legal pathway to remain in the United States with a bill that critics have called an amnesty proposal called the Dignity Act. Well, why didn't they have dignity when, like, I've always said this, why is it always put on one side? Like empathy, for example. Oh, come on, you need to have empathy for these people. They've been here for 20, 30 years. Well, where was the empathy from them? Why, where was the empathy for them coming here illegally on behalf of all American citizens having that empathy for? Like, you didn't have empathy for the people standing in line. You didn't have the empathy for the people that have been trying to get in this country for years. No, you didn't have any empathy. So why should we have empathy for you? I've never understood that. It's always put on one side. Have you guys noticed that? It's always put on us. Oh, look at that. You're an asshole. Oh, yeah, you're a dick. Look at you. It's like, what about that guy? The guy that actually broke. I didn't do shit. I'm actually here following the law. Yeah. What about the guy that broke the law? Should we talk about him? That's pretty unempathetic to break the law. That's a pretty dick move to do, right? I could siphon from the system, not really put money back in the system. And if you're putting money back in the system, you're actually siphoning more out of the system than you are putting back in. Like, really? It's unbelievable. It blows my mind when you put it back on other people and you go, well, hold on a second. What I have found doing these TikToks, I've been doing these TikTok debates every night for like 3 hours late at night. And what I have found is it's always us trying to defend ourselves. But what I have found is when you put it back on the other people, they actually don't know what to say very often. They really don't know. It's like, okay, well, what do you expect to take place here? Oh, I don't know. It's like, oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, of course you don't know. You just want to point the finger rather than look at yourself and the people that committed the crimes, because it's easier to point the finger at somebody else. As I've already mentioned, that's what Democrats do. That's all they do. They point the finger. Oh, you freaking asshole. Oh, you're a jerk. Look how pathetic you are. You're a terrible person. It's like, hold on a second. Why don't you look at yourself and look at the people committing the crime, and then we can talk about it. It would allow illegal aliens who have been in the country since 2021 to apply for a renewable 7-year legal status. I'm going to contain myself today. I really am. Those deemed eligible would have to pass a background check and pay $7,000 in restitution over a 7-year period. The bill would also offer legal status and a pathway to permanent residency and eventually to citizenship for recipients of the Obama-era DACA program. We are the noblest nation on earth. It is time for our immigration system to measure up. What a stupid statement. Really. What a stupid statement. Okay. Well, let's just go ahead and take in that's pretty noble to take in everybody. Yeah, might as well just, why have a border at all then? Let's just be noble. Let's be idiots here. Let's just be super noble. Like, the people that came here illegally, I know it's talking about DACA, but let's talk about the people that came here illegally. What about, if we're supposed to be noble, right? If American citizens in a country is supposed to be noble, and you want to claim that as a value that we're supposed to have here as Americans, then shouldn't the people that came here or are coming here have the same exact character and value? If you're going to assimilate into a system of which is a noblest nation on earth, or the noblest nation on earth, then shouldn't you have nobility inside you? Isn't it a value that you should have then? Then obviously, then by definition here, those people weren't very noble in coming here illegally. The millions of people are here. Again, I know it's talking about DACA. I understand that. I'm talking about people that were full on illegal. I know DACA people are illegal as well. I get it, folks. I get it. But again, as I mentioned, it's so odd how it's always put on the American people. It's always put on us, you guys. It's frustrating. Oh, well, you're not being noble enough. Oh, you're not being empathetic enough. What about these people? Look at the lives they're living. It's like, I understand all that. And it sucks. You were dealt a very bad hand. A lot of people are dealt very bad hands in life. A lot of Americans were. Doesn't mean you just get to go break the laws of other countries. Frustrating. Salazar repeatedly claimed that the legislation is not an amnesty bill. Yes, it is. What a fucking liar. Who is this again? If this is your congresswoman, get her out. We don't need this crap, especially in Florida. She's going to start this shit in Florida. She's begging to be let go. She's begging. She's on her hands and feet going, please, God, get me out of here. I'm leaving her name up on the screen so you can take a photo of it and you can give her a phone call. I know I'm not trying to dox her. If she is your congresswoman, call her and saying, what are you doing? Are you out of your mind? What are you doing? Again, if she is not your representative, do not call her. Does that make sense? You guys get that. I don't feel, oh, you're trying to dox this woman. No. Only people who are her constituents should be calling her. Not me. I live in California. Why would I call her? I got my own problems here. I got to deal with Gavin Newsom, that nut job. I got plenty of phone calls to make. I need to start having congressmen and women on my show, don't I? I need to start bringing people on the show, I think. You know what I mean? I think we need to start doing that. Start asking questions like, what the fuck are you doing? The problem is when you start roughing and toughing these people up a little bit, you start pushing back, then you don't ever see them again, right? And then your name goes around, oh, you don't want to go on that guy's show. He's going to be tough on you, right? And these pussies hide off in the shadows. We've had guests on the show before, by the way. We've had guests on the show. If you go back to the old Bald Brad, like 4 years ago, we've had a guest or two. Salazar repeatedly claimed that the legislation was not an amnesty bill, arguing that it allows certain long-term undocumented immigrants to earn legal status. Allow certain long-term illegal immigrants to earn legal status, which is the definition of amnesty. But it's not amnesty. So now she's a liar right in front of our... Gotcha. Okay. I was piecing it together. Yeah, it's morning. It's 6:40 for me. You know, I've been getting about 5 hours of sleep every night. I just got to make sure that, brain's working functionally correctly. Now she's going to lie to us. So not only is she a liar, but remember, you have to be noble, not the people that came here illegally. You have to be noble. Yes. The legislation has been derided by critics as an amnesty measure, because it is. Former Representative Matt Gaetz warned that the Dignity Act includes amnesty for illegal immigrants, while conservative lawyer Will Chamberlain charged that legislation as an amnesty bill for illegal aliens and would absolutely blow the door open on legal migration. Correct. Salazar is not the only Republican. I'm so glad I scrolled down. I am so glad I scrolled down. Let's get you guys on the screen here for you. I want to make this as big as I can for you. That's what she said. Here we go. Oh, sexual references are funny. Salazar is not the only Republican in support of the effort to offer legal status to illegal aliens. The act has also received the support of another one. Look at all these Republicans. Mario Rafael Diaz Bolart, Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania. There you go, Pat. That one's for you. Have fun making a phone call. I don't know if these, I'm assuming these are House people. Not sure. Trying to see if anybody's like a congressman or okay. Wow, you got a couple people from Pennsylvania, Pat. Or Pat, Jeff. You got a few. Jeff has phone calls to make. Mike Lawler of New York. Dan Newhouse. David Villado. That would be me. Mike Kelly, another Pennsylvania. Gabe Evans. Don Bacon. Oh, that sounds good in the morning, huh? Whose mouth started salivating a little bit? Whose mouth? I took the trash out yesterday and I could smell the bacon in the air. I was like, who is that? What house number is that? It's like Joe Biden. I told you when he smells an 8-year-old off in the crowd. That is J.C. Penney 2006 17 edition. The March 15th sale. 20 yards due north. And Young Kim, another Republican of California. All those people, gone. We need to let them go. They're not one of us. See ya. Bye, Felicia. They're out. See you later. Adios. You don't get to break the law. We don't get to break the law. Neither do they. Vance fires up. Swing state with big, beautiful victory lap. I'm not going to spend too much time on this for you, folks. Just want to read a couple here. With a triumphant speech in the battleground states of Pennsylvania on Wednesday, Vance, JD, I don't know why, like it was like Bond, James. JD Vance heralded the recent enactment of the One Big Beautiful Bill that became a centerpiece accomplishment of President Donald Trump's second term. Vance, who helped push the legislation through Congress with a tie-breaking vote, triumphant its tax cuts in conjunction with the tariffs on foreign imports Trump is using to punish other countries that he says has been cheating the United States on trade. I guess we take a little peek. Hopefully it's not the whole clip.
Our government has done the exact opposite. We have rewarded people who shipped American jobs overseas and penalized the great small businesses who invested right here in America, right here at home. And the President Trump's leadership, we're flipping that on its head. If you're building here, if you're making here, if you're working in the United States of America, we just gave you a big, fat tax break. But if you're going to ship American jobs overseas, thanks to Donald Trump, you're going to pay a big, fat tariff. It's time to invest in our own country and our own people once again, and we're doing it.
So there's JD putting in the work. With the success of the One Big Beautiful Bill, which was passed in the House and Senate without the support of any Democrat lawmakers, I guess they shouldn't get the tax breaks then. Yeah, go ahead and put what party you're in, and you're not. So we don't need to do that. If you're a Democrat, when you go to see your tax accountant this year, don't take any deductions. Not a single. I don't want a single deduction on there. I just want income. Just income. Now you'll have to, and by the way, even if your itemized deduction is greater than your standard, I still want you to take standard. I want you to take the lower. Yeah, I want you to do the lower of the two, not the greater of the two. I want you to take the lower one. And if you, zero deductions, not one. I don't even want you to take any credits. Yeah, don't even bother reporting your kids on your 1040. Yeah, let's not do that. You're a Democrat. You didn't want this. Yeah, you didn't want this to go through. You should not have those tax cuts then. Don't. So I can't stop you. But let's see where, if you put your, actions where your mouth is. Let's see if they can do it. I told you I've never seen it happen in my entire life. And I got a lot of friends in accounting still. And most of them are tax accountants. They've never seen it either. And some of them are Democrats, by the way. Even they haven't seen it. So I'm not going to break this down, but he's just going over the big, beautiful bill and the great things about it. So just want to let you know he's on a victory tour here. Trump cancels all funding for incompetent Governor Gavin Newsom's new high-speed train to nowhere. Congratulations. This is mostly for you guys, by the way. I still will probably have to pay for this crap. This is all they've built, by the way. If you notice here, there is no actual rail. I say this all the time. People think, wow, this thing's been going on for like a decade or two. He hasn't built anything. You have to wonder where all these billions of dollars have went. You are looking at what they've built with, I'm saying B as in boy for billions. This is what they spent. You don't think there's any sort of money laundering going on here or any shady stuff? Anybody with half a brain would know that there was some serious corruption going on with this. Your billions, folks, billions of dollars went into what you are looking at. It's cement. And not even a lot of it. On Wednesday afternoon, President Trump took the long overdue step to cancel federal funds intended for the California bullet train. Thank God. This is a huge win for you guys because you shouldn't have to pay for this. And I live here. Please keep your money. Send no money here to the state of California. I don't want your money, man. This state needs to figure its shit out and stop asking for you. They always brag, oh, well, we're subsidizing all these other states. Oh, we're subsidizing red states. Okay, well, no money for you then. No money. Everybody will figure it out. We're good at adapting. We're Americans. We'll figure it out. Late last December, 1 month before President Trump was inaugurated, California Democrats in Congress sent a letter to Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, urging him to hurry and approve additional funding for California's floundering high-speed rail project. 1 week before, the San Francisco Chronicle reported the cost of building California's largely unfinished high-speed rail line, of which Newsom bragged, we're making rail real in California, because he's an idiot, as you saw when we covered a little bit of his stuff yesterday or the other day with Dark MAGA, which we will have Dark MAGA today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's open to everybody. It's on all platforms. It's open to everybody. Come and hang out with us at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're in one of those middle states, I don't know what time it is for you, okay? I don't know what the central time would be. You guys get left out. But come hang out. Which was initially, oh boy, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. This number is insane. Okay, you saw the image, right? You saw on the screen, that's all they've built. Everybody saw that, right? If you're on audio, it was a portion of a bridge and it was just cement. That was it. Like an overpass on a freeway that is, I don't know, we'll be generous here. Maybe 2 football fields in length. I'm being very generous on that one. You guys know I am. That's what we saw. Just cement. That was it. Initially estimated at $33 billion with a B. And it's ballooned to over $100 billion. By the way, it's over $121 billion. They want to build this thing. Where you have to ask yourself, where'd the money go? Where is it? And as somebody that was an assurance and advisory accountant, which is a public auditor, you don't think my bullshit meter is through the roof on this? Anybody that's an accountant would be like, yo, yeah. Oh, yeah. This went somewhere. This went in the pockets of Gavin Newsom's friend. Your money, by the way. Your money and my money. Gone. Nobody wants to look into it. Nobody wants to check it out. It's like when he did those $600,000 per unit, those shipping containers. You know the things that go in the back of trucks that deliver your goods to different warehouses? They used those shipping containers to build housing for the homeless. $600,000 per shipping container. We've showed it many times. I'm not going to bring it up again because some of you are like, I haven't seen that before. That's news to me. You could look at yourself because we've shown it. We've shown video of it. We've shown you actual people going in and looking at them like, oh, that's nice. You could buy 2 houses in some states for the amount that is. That's more than some of your homes are, by the way. A shipping container costs more than an entire home. You don't think people are making out pretty good? The letter asked for $536 million of your money, federal funds, acknowledging the FSP national grant application is part of an ongoing federal-state partnership that has provided approximately almost $29 billion in funding so far for California high-speed rail. You have paid $29 billion for what's on your screen right now. This is it. I want to piss you off. You're damn right. Here you go. That's what you got there. You paid. It's a little bit bigger than it looks because that's an outhouse right there, a porta potty. That's $29 billion. Somebody stole your money. And it wasn't me. I didn't steal it. I would let you know. I would have a way better setup than I do here. Trust me, if I was stealing your money with this, I would have way better setup than what I got here. Could barely get the show running this morning, right? I'm fucking MacGyvering the shit out of everything. There's like duct tape everywhere, like scotch tape. Fucking trying to figure this shit out. Oh, that's from state funds. My bad. You guys paid $7 billion. I got that wrong. I got a little antsy. So let me correct this for a second. This is what happens when I'm an idiot. There's $22 billion from state funds. Forgive me. You guys had $7 billion from federal funds. It doesn't make it really any better. My bad. So $7 billion of your dollars, $22 billion of mine, I believe. Oh, that's great. I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna lose it. You guys like, please, Brad. I told you, got to pay for rants. Bruce came up big the other day, so Danielle. I don't want to do a rant though. I'll be honest. It takes a lot out of me. It does. Early in the morning to do a rant. That's how you know when I get pissed off, is when I get that little spark of energy. You know, just lose your shit. Do the math. I want my portion of that check back from California. Yeah, me too. Reality star Chris Pratt claims California planned to build low-income housing in fire-ravaged areas. This is going to blow your minds. I didn't think this was real. When I saw another article on this, remember I told you guys when I pull up stuff, like I'll see a headline and then I'll see it somewhere else. Like I'll see it on MSNBC, maybe Fox News covers it, Just the News. Like, and I go, okay, well, let's see if it appears on the Daily Wire, just because it's formatted nicely for me. So I saw this first on Twitter. And then I saw somebody posting about it on TikTok, and then I saw it on everywhere else. I'm like, okay, well, let's kind of see what else we can get here. If it doesn't appear on Daily Wire, I'll still pull it up. It's just, I don't like here's Fox News, the format I just don't like. It's very busy, there's shit everywhere. I don't like that. So I couldn't believe it. The actor Chris Pratt is coming down hard on California Governor Gavin Newsom and the state Senate for supporting a bill that will allow the city to purchase fire-ravaged lots to construct low-income housing. Do you know how expensive it is to live in that area that burned down? I used my trustworthy ChatGPT Pro asking why this bill would be bad for residents. The response was interesting. So I asked my new 4 agents at Grok 4 Heavy the same question the 41-year-old reality star wrote in his Instagram caption. Just to give you guys an update, Grok 4 has like passed every exam that's like out there, allegedly. This is brand new. This came out, I think this rolled out last week. I think it was brand new. Let's read it. So here's ChatGPT 4.0. Now, ChatGPT does have a 4.5 option that's better than the 4.0, but it's still good. Want this turned into a ready-to-post carousel with visuals and headlines? I can mock up the entire thing. Just say a word. Yes, please. Getting started. I can't generate those images because the request violates our content policies. If you'd like, I can help reword or reshape, blah, blah, blah. Why? Totally fair question. The reason is anything that touches on housing policy, legislation affecting vulnerable populations, or government programs involving former convicts or the unhoused requires extra care to avoid amplifying harmful narratives or stigmatizing groups, especially in visuals that could be misinterpreted or sensationalized. This is AI. It's not about silencing criticism. You're absolutely allowed to oppose SB 549 and spotlight how it impacts your community. I can help you with that. By the way, I use AI to make my thumbnails, and there's thumbnails that it won't generate for me because of stuff like this. Neutral, fact-based, slide designs, and give me a break. Pratt included images of the bill's text and the AI platform breakdowns of what it all meant. Obviously, I'm no genius, but having the people in charge of the town they just let burn down make any decisions in rebuilding it seems crazy to me, because it is crazy. The image included detailed breakdowns of California's Senate bill, removes local control over land use in fire-affected areas, enables county rezoning and redevelopment without resident input. Some people move away and getting out of the ghetto because they don't want to deal with the ghetto. And that's regardless of race and ethnicity, by the way. I moved to where I am to get away from the low income, the ghetto, the crazies. That doesn't mean every low income person's a bad person. Doesn't mean every low income person's the ghetto person. But you kind of get what you pay for. I choose not to live in those areas because those people, whether they've grown up in low income or forced themselves during decision making to be low income, whatever it may be, I moved out of those areas because it's safer. And usually when you have a low income person coming in, they kind of act low income. Not everybody. See, they always take your words out of context. Oh, you're talking about everybody. Can only be so clear. I'm not talking about everybody. There's a lot of variables that go into this. I mean, again, the question I could propose back is, why don't you want to live in a low income area? Why don't you want to go live in the Section 8 housing in the projects? Why not? Why not? Why don't you want to go live there? We know why. We know why, because they think the same way I do. They just don't want to admit it. Risks displacement, overdevelopment, added bureaucracy, delays, and new taxes. I just want to point that out again. There's really great people in low income areas. There are. I've been in them. I've been to people's birthday parties in low income areas where streets have been what's called greenlit. If you don't know what a greenlit street is, that means there could be a drive-by shooting at any moment. The street has been lit up to be hit. I've been at birthday parties in low income areas. I've been in low income areas. I actually cannot believe in the United States of America people lived like they did, where it's just like it's like an RV, but there's like no wheels and it's just on the ground, and there's like a family of like 8 living out of it, and it's gross. It's basically homeless without being homeless. I've seen it. I've been there. It's not fun, and I don't want that in my neighborhood, and I don't want that anywhere else. And that's what they're trying to do here. Another image detailed why this bill was bad for residents, giving reasons such as creates a county authority that overrides city community decisions on rebuilding after wildfires, enables rezoning without input. Pratt lost his $3 million home, and they want to put low-income housing there now. A property that's valued at $3 million. They want you to get it at like 30,000, 50,000, something silly. The magazine for Los Angeles says the bill would allow the city to purchase now vacant lots of structures destroyed by the fire to build low-income housing. You don't deserve to live somewhere. But the Democrats said, well, they should be able to live where they serve. No. Well, they should. That's fine. I mean, you could work to do it. I had to bust my ass to get where I'm at. I still do. To be able to live here, I have to bust my ass. And there is a the low income where they get a cheaper rate at the place where I live. And I think it's bullshit. So because you make less than I do, you get to live in the same area as I do. So I have to bust my ass to get to be able to live in the same complex as you. So you get to technically, it doesn't always work out this way. Some people make less, but also work harder. It never made sense to me. Why do you get to make less, but get to live in the same area by being charged at a cheaper rate? Well, you can afford it. How do you know that? You know what I mean? How do you know that? How do you know what my budget looks like? Anywho, that's going to get me in trouble. It's going to get me in trouble. Gavin Newsom can't say whether 8... Holy shit. Okay, so everybody take a sip of your coffee. I'll see if I can find the clip on this. When we did Dark MAGA, you saw that Gavin Newsom was on the Sean Ryan podcast. I saw a very quick clip of this. I didn't even see the whole thing, and I was like, oh, we got to talk about this. Gavin Newsom was unable to definitively provide an answer when he was asked if a child who is 8 years old is too young to undergo irreversible transgender surgeries. I'm going to show you the clip. This dude squirms. It is such a cringy. Try not to lose your shit. Okay? We're going to have a good day here, guys. We're going to have a great day. We're not going to let this scumbag ruin it for us. But I want you to see how these people function. And you saw how smooth he was, right? When we watched about 15, 20 minutes. You saw how smooth he was. Watch this.
For your values, I mean, is 8 years old too young?
Yeah, I mean, look, I now that I have a 9-year-old, just became 9. Come on, man. I get it. So those are legit. You know, it's interesting, just the issue of age. It's interesting. As someone that's been so focused on equality, broadly, LGBT rights, particularly gay marriage. Mm-hmm. The trans issue for me is also novel. It's over the last few years. I'm trying to understand as much as anyone else. Whole pronoun thing. Trying to understand all of that. Well, that was like the hell. I mean, all that stuff. I get it. All this stuff started to collapse on us. I joked with Charlie about Latinx.
What about for your values? I mean, is 8 years old?
Yeah, come in close. Come in close. Yep. Powwow time. Everybody come in. Group huddle. That's my governor. The dude can't wrap his head around the question of if an 8-year-old. No, wait, just hear the question really quick.
I mean, is 8 years old too young?
I mean, he doesn't know what is going on. And this guy's supposed to run the state? Has anybody talked to an 8-year-old before? He's like, I have a 9-year-old now. I get it. Get what? You fumbled through your words. You sounded so much like Joe that if I close my eyes, it might have been him. I know I say this all the time. 2028. This is a guy that if you don't gender affirm your kid, will remove your kid with Child Protective Services from you. This is a guy that wants to chisel away at your Second Amendment rights. I can only wave my hands so much to say, this cannot happen. I will let you know when I see a Democrat front runner where I'm like, okay, he just differs. He's like a JFK like style Democrat. I'll be like, okay, well, we just differ on like some policy stuff, but as far as like the trans stuff and the, going after your children, like we're all on the same page on that. There's some subtle differences in that we want the same thing, just different ways to get there. I'm trying to think of somebody that I've like warned you about as much as this person. Folks, he's wearing aviators, Ray-Ban aviators. Could you get the epitome of Joe out of this guy? Just a younger version of Joe Biden? Scum. Newsom is being a typical politician, doesn't want to give a definitive answer to fear of pissing off the wrong people / voters. Well, yeah, he'd be gone in a day. That says house cost in California is crazy. Yep. In Orange County, California, this is according to the Orange County Register, you have to make a household income of $425,000 to reasonably own a home in Orange County, California. I want to point out, as somebody that, I always say, I was an accountant. As somebody that follows Dave Ramsey strictly, I shouldn't. Well, now people are, well, you have a credit card, use a credit card. Yeah, I use a credit card to get cash back, but I use it as a debit card. It's different. I actually know how to pay my bills. Like you guys don't. Just teasing you. I'm teasing you. You guys know what you're doing. I don't remember where I was going with that. It's freaking early. No idea. No idea where I was going with that. I was going somewhere. Oh, the housing. They're not right. They're wrong. Reasonably in their mind is wrong. They're stoked if you put down 3% for a house. That's insane to me. Putting 3% down for anything is wild. That means you don't have the money for it, is what that tells me. That you didn't save up long enough. Should not be due. I can afford a modest, roughly 1,300 square foot, 3-bed, 1-bath house on a 1/3 acre in Southwest Idaho on $100K a year. Built in 1957. Hell yeah. You want to know something, guys? I can't afford a house, and I do everything right. I'm sorry. I can afford a house somewhere else, just not here in California. I would love to hear what Sean Ryan says about the interview. Yeah, you know what? Let's see if I can pull that up for you guys while we're chilling really quick. Let's see. I'm curious too, but I know he's gotten a lot of pushback for just having Gavin Newsom on his podcast. I don't really have a problem with him having people on a show. I'm not one of those. I think you should be able to talk to everybody. I think that stuff's important because you want to see how sleazy these people are. And one way to see how sleazy they are is have them on long form podcasts like that. And it really lets you see their true colors. He has not come out and said anything. So tsunami warning for Alaska happened yesterday after a 7.3 earthquake hit 54 miles south of Sandpoint, Alaska. A tsunami advisory is in effect for parts of Alaska. You have the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration initially issued a warning for coastal areas from Kennedy Entrance, about 40 miles southwest of Homer. Jeez. Well, that was all I got for you. That was really it. So I'll just let you know, for some people, if you know anybody, like, and I'm talking about anybody, like a single person that this might affect. There you go. There's a tsunami warning out there in I would imagine by now the tsunami would have already hit, so you probably want to give them a phone call. If they don't pick up, they're probably underwater. The other news here, get a little bit of different news really quickly. We're going to go through these last few articles rather fast. There's not much here to tell, just merely the headlines or something you need to know about. UFC chief Dana White said the card he is planning for an event at the White House will be the best card we've ever done to date. I mean, I would imagine if you're a UFC fighter, because there are a lot of Donald Trump fans, this is like the card you want to be on. White appeared at the Backfist podcast on Wednesday to talk about a UFC event he is planning for the lawn of the White House next year. President Donald Trump first announced the event during a July 4th rally in Iowa. We're putting together the renderings. They should be done in the next 10 days, and then we're going to fly out to the White House and present it to Trump, see what he likes and what he doesn't like, and start working on it. The UFC boss said the White House Fight Night will be a one-of-one unique event that will never happen again. I cannot wait for this. I believe this is happening. I could be wrong. I think this was going to happen July 4th, 2026, if I remember correctly, which is going to be another crazy. Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's like your daddy knows, doesn't he? The event to take place July 4th during the United States 250th birthday. I have a feeling this is going to be a crazy celebration. Crazy celebration. Can you believe it? I mean, we're so young as a country. So young and so far. But although we're kind of regressing a little bit. Here's some updates. Iran faces August deadline to accept comprehensive nuclear deal or face renewed UN sanctions. Basically, you can be a part of the world if you want, or you don't want to be a part of the world. You get to decide. It's like talking to a little kid. You can either play nice with everybody, or you don't get to play at all. It's a very easy decision, but you let them make their decision so that they have to eat their whatever when the actions come to consequences. You could play with the rest of us. We would love for you. By the way, everybody would love to play with Iran. The question is, do they want to play nice? If you want to keep throwing jabs and punches, blowing up vessels, I'm not for that. Don't want to play with you. Matter of fact, I don't want you anywhere near everybody else. Iran has until the end of August to agree to a nuclear deal. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and the foreign ministers of France, Germany, and the United Kingdom set the de facto deadline, according to three sources with knowledge of a call Wednesday among the officials. If Tehran fails to agree to a deal, it would trigger the snapback mechanism that automatically reimposes all sanctions previously opposed by United Nations Security Council. Basically saying, you're fucked again. The sanctions were lifted under the 2015 Iran deal. The Trump administration has tried pressuring Iran to accept a deal to walk back its nuclear program after U.S. and Israel strikes targeting nuclear sites. These sanctions crippled Iran as a country. Crippled them. I have a feeling it's coming back. Iran is very, very thick-headed. Not the people, but their leadership. Kind of, to be fair, Donald Trump's pretty thick-headed, but he understands when something's good and something's bad. Iran leader, the Ayatollah, does not register. According to U.S. Central Command, Yemeni forces opposed to the anti-American Houthis, who are a proxy for Iran, successfully interdicted a massive, sorry, the light's shining, Iranian weapon shipment bound for the Houthis. That's really it. I don't even know I had this article up, to be honest. Let's go to my Twitter page really quick here. I want to make sure I'm not. By the way, we have almost 75 people watching alone over on X. Shout out to all those people. Glad that you're over here. And then a bunch of people watching on Rumble and YouTube. So I appreciate everybody watching. It's always great to have the peeps in the chat. You're gonna love this one. A store owner.
January's fire. Now,
check this out.
Owner of Magoo's showroom says he lost his home and his first store in January's fire. Now, what you're looking at right now is surveillance video of his new location in Hollywood. And you can see a group of men breaking in through a window yesterday. The owner feels like he was targeted in this case, and he says he will now be temporarily closing this second location that he just opened.
So I'm going to read that for you. LA store owner who lost everything in the fires finally reopened their store. His store was already looted, and we just watched video of it. That's California for you, man. That is California for you. Zoram Mamdani says he's in favor of the abolition of private property. Whoa, okay, that is some Mao communist stuff there. Let's go.
My platform is that every single person should have housing. And I think faced with these two options, the system has hundreds of thousands of people unhoused, right? For what? And if there was any system that could guarantee each person housing, whether you call it the abolition of private property or you call it, just a statewide housing guarantee, it is preferable to what is going on right now. Mm-hmm. And I think that people try and play like gotcha games about these kinds of things. And it's like, look, I care more about whether somebody has a home. My platform is that
you have a home right here. I don't see many people living in there with you, asshole. And you're just going to seize people's properties and put somebody in there? People play got you? Bro, you were talking about the abolition of private property. I want this guy to win. That's my personality. When people act stupid, fuck it. I remove myself from the situation, and you ever have those conversations where you tell somebody that something's going to happen before it happens, and that you say, hey, so that thing doesn't happen that's really bad, you should probably go this route. You give them your advice, and they always take the bad route, and then you finally go, okay, well, if you're not going to, I'm not going to be a part. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm out. I'll let you burn your shit to the ground, but I'm going to watch it happen. And when you're asking for help, I ain't fucking giving it to you. That's what happened. You know how often that happens to me, especially when I was an accountant? I could probably count on one hand in like a decade that somebody actually took my advice. Somebody that pays you hundreds of dollars an hour for your advice, only not to take it. It would blow your mind when you're giving personal finance advice to somebody, how many people don't take your advice and go do the very thing that you said not to do. And then they come back to you because they're in a pickle because they didn't listen to what you had to say. And I'm being sincere. I could probably think of 5 people in my entire life as well that did it. It's a great, there's some sort of phenomena with it. I don't know yet. It's something I want to source out, but I'm trying to figure it out myself. The CEO of PBS just said she can't make any sense of an argument that we are somehow biased in any way. Oh boy, we got to see this.
I asked them for examples. People often struggle to come up with examples of what really they're talking about. So we're always interested, obviously, in making sure that we're serving a multiplicity of viewpoints. Bill Buckley made his home on public broadcasting with a series called Firing Line, which continues today with Margaret Hoover. We are interested in having different perspectives that we bring forward. But when I look at the range of our programmings on public broadcasting, I can't make any sense of an argument that we are somehow biased in any way.
I have to go to the comments. I haven't seen it yet, but we got to. Let's see what people say. Oh. Oh, you knew it was going to be good, didn't you? You knew it was going to be good. Okay. Everybody settle down. Settle down. PBS staff used 162 variations of far-right labels and only 6 far-left labels, an astonishing ratio of 27-1, according to Newsbusters.
People often struggle to come up with examples of what really they're talking about. Struggle to come up with examples of what really they're talking about. Struggle to come up with examples of what really they're talking about.
Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. One study found that the so-called gender ideology stories PBS NewsHour dedicated over 90% of their airtime to leftist views.
They're talking about of what really they're talking about, with examples of what really they're talking about, come up with examples of what really they're talking about.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
I think what we're seeing is a president who's determined to fly in the face of the experts, his own health officials, environmental experts, as well as people who are saying that there's really a myth of America, that this idea that America treated people well, that they treated men and women equally, that we founded this country just by our own wit, that is actually a lie, and that in fact what we're seeing is a celebration of America's independence on land that was stolen from Native Americans, and it's being seen and overlooked by two presidents, their figures rather, that owned slaves, and a third president in Roosevelt who talked about going westward and who oversaw the desecration of native lands. That's why you saw so many people in this country, especially people of color, look really, really disturbed when the president and then candidate Trump started saying, "Make America Great Again." He's really fitting in this history that is in some ways Republican history about the idea that they're really looking at white resentment and giving people who are worried about the future of America, but who are also angry at the idea.
That is the PBS White House correspondent, by the way. But hold on a second. I just have to go back to the CEO really quick.
Struggle to come up with examples. People often struggle to come up with examples of what really they're talking about.
Gotcha. Okay. I wasn't sure. I had to go back. I'm sorry. PBS produced an entire movie celebrating a transgender teenager's so-called change gender identity called Real Boy in 2017. Gotcha. PBS devoted an entire panel to what it means to be woke and white privilege.
Struggle to. I asked them for examples. People often struggle to come up with examples of.
Gotcha. Okay. Just checking again, CEO. I want to see what you changed. In 2021, a PBS station aired a child's program that featured a drag queen named Little Miss Hot Mess. We're not done yet. NPR routinely promotes the chemical and surgical mutilation of children as so-called gender-affirming care without mentioning the irreversible damage caused by these procedures. I mean, dude, Rapid Response just went hard in the paint on it. Keeps going. Just hard in the paint. Holy lordy. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I think that was a good one to end off on, huh? That was a good one. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything for you guys before we end here. Oh, I got to show you this. Oh, please, 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 please. Representative Jayapal, whatever, you'll see her when you see her face, is asked why she didn't bring up the Epstein issue under Joe Biden. Just wait for her response, you guys.
If you see such a need to investigate this, why didn't you raise it during the Biden administration? I mean, we couldn't find that you made any public comments about Epstein in previous administrations.
Well, I would have been happy to raise it then as well. Frankly, we were focused on so many different pieces, but I have been one of the Democrats that has been consistent on what I call out Republican presidents for and Democratic presidents for, whether it is FISA, reforms that we need, whatever it has been. I've been pretty consistent. War powers. I've criticized Joe Biden just as I'm criticizing Donald Trump. I think transparency is not something that should happen only when you have a Republican president. It is something that we need for both Democratic and Republican presidents.
So then why didn't you call for more transparency earlier during the Biden administration? I'm just trying to better understand why you are so intent now on calling for this.
Well, I think I gave it the same focus that I'm giving it now. We haven't, I think I've released one tweet on this and you wanted to talk about it, so I'm happy to talk about it here, but it certainly hasn't been the focus. I'm just responding to what I think is a massive switch from the Trump administration.
So it still hasn't given an answer. She's been talking for 1:13. Has been asked twice about it. Still can't give it. The answer was she's too busy was the answer. Yeah, she was just too busy. We got to go to the chat again. This is what I love. I love going to the comment section. Who else has a strong feeling that they were way more Democrats hanging out with Epstein Island than there were Republicans? I have that same thought. That's for sure. We were focused on so many different pieces. What she means is They were focused on destroying Trump, which is what they live for every day. That is also correct. Busy being a communist. Yep. This is somebody who has allegiance to India, not the United States. Jeffrey Epstein was banned from Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida back in 2007, according to multiple sources, including a book by Miami Herald reporters and other news outlets. The ban stemmed from an incident where Epstein made something. So we will end it there, folks. We'll be back here later today. If for some reason I'm not available for Dark MAGA, which I should be, if we're not live at 4, then we don't have it, but we should be. I don't want you to think that we're not. As things happen, weird technology issues today, big time. But appreciate all of you. Can't answer a damn question. Nope, they can't. Well, you know why they can't. They don't have an answer. Well, they do, but it's not an answer that's a good one. I almost tripped over water hose. Oh boy, glad you didn't. I'm so tired of hearing about the land we took from the Indians. They had their own lands to live on for centuries now. Many have thrown away their opportunities. Others haven't. Yep. We talked about it in Trojan Horse, actually, in the book that I wrote. They actually didn't, most Native Americans didn't even believe in land ownership, actually. So that was a weird concept for them when we had people come over here and colonize. They didn't know what to do because they didn't represent or believe in land ownership. And so it's always weird how when you hear people debate or talk about, land being stolen, everybody's land's been stolen at some point. I mean, that's always been the case from country to country. It's fascinating. It's a silly argument because if they really, it always goes back. You always have to bring it back to them. If they firmly believe that the land was stolen, then why don't they give up the land of which they live on? Meaning the Democrats that are saying it, you have a piece of property somewhere, you rent somewhere. Why don't you just give that up then? Give it to a Native American. Like, just don't sell it to them. Just literally give it to them. Walk out today. But they won't do it because they don't actually believe in what they say. That's the thing. They don't. I brought up the fact of, I gotta talk to my mom more about this, but I used to be taken out of school to do Native American stuff. People see me as a white guy, right? They just see pale skin because I don't ever go outside. But if you saw photos of me when I was extremely young, I was very, very, very dark. And I used to be taken out of school all the time to do like Native American projects and stuff like that. Like you do like sand art, you do all sorts of stuff. And we have like cousins named like Redbird. I mean, I'm way closer than Elizabeth Warren is. But anywho, I don't get upset. So whenever I bring up in debates like I'm Native American, they just laugh because they see a bald white guy. But it just shows their racism. I don't think they're racist for that, but they just, they're just trying to play identity politics. They see a white guy. It's like, well, yeah, but you could see a white guy that's not tan. And that's always my question. So if I was to go out and tan, which could happen, if I spent all summer tanning, I would be dark as an Indian. So does that mean my white privilege is gone? Like, how does that work? Nobody's ever explained that to me. Like, how does that transition work? Because you could transition from a male to female. You can't transition from being white to dark. Just by the way, I would look Middle Eastern. Some people think I look Middle Eastern now. As far as I'm aware, I'm not. But there was an adoption that took place at some point in my family lineage, by the way. So I could be. I don't know. I'm not gonna do that 23andMe and give them my DNA. That's weird. But you understand what I mean? Is like I get people ask me like, "Where are you from? You look weird. Like, you don't look like a normal person. like what? What's wrong with you? You an alien?" I hand the God that's happened to me many of times. So what do you guys think? Let's go to the chat. Not to make this about me, but I'm going to make it about me. What do I look like to you? Middle Eastern? European? Spanish? Mexican? Irish? Scottish? Like, what do I look like to you guys? I've got Middle Eastern a lot, by the way. Usually when I grow out my beard. When I don't have a beard, I just look like a bitch. A soy boy. I look like this on the screen right here. This woman, man. I don't know what this is. But I'm actually really curious. British? Really? That's a first. I've never gotten that in my entire life. Black. Miriam, shut up. Get Miriam. I love Miriam. Black. Oh, boy. Oh, you guys are Debbie. Middle Eastern or Hispanic. There's a guy that I know. His name's Chris. And he's actually bald too. And he's I believe Chris is Hispanic. And actually, we look very similar to one another. You look like you might have German. You guys are just saying shit. What the fuck? What else are you guys saying? I'm terrible at telling races apart. I see a proud American. I appreciate that. Thank you, Blackbird. Eastern Europe. Yeah, we're all over the place on this shit. See, you guys don't even know. Miriam, though. Miriam had the best one. Thank you. Thank you for embracing me. I'm going to tell everybody a black lady thought I was black. I'm taking the black. Is it a black card, a race card? I don't know what it is. I'm using it. You know, Miriam, you're gonna, I don't know if you'll love this or not love it. There's my mom's best friend growing up her name was Barbara. And she's not here now. I think she passed away of cancer, if I remember. This is decades ago. I have glimpses of her. And my mom's best friend was black. And her name was Barbara. And her whole family was black. And I always just remember their sense of humor. I was so young that it's very faint, but you kind of remind me of Barbara a little bit. My mom's best friend. Yeah. Even like kind of the way you look. My mom will be able to see your profile. That don't look like Barbara. But yeah, Barbara and my mom. Yeah. I should ask my mom about Barbara more often. They were work besties too. I have blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm going to start putting black when they ask. What the hell are you talking about? Are you hot? Alrighty. Well, we'll cut it there. I need another cup of coffee. I'm out of breath. Yeah, you're Chinese. Yeah. All right. I just want to hang out with you guys. So my person, I don't want to leave because I actually enjoy hanging out with you guys. I can actually get to be a part of the chat and we just talk for hours. We'll be back here in about 7 hours. Jesus Christ, I need coffee. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be back here doing Dark Maga. What we're going to go over, I don't know yet. Probably breaking news. I feel like we haven't done like a White House press briefing in a while. I don't know what's going to come up, but we'll make sure that we'll try to bring you some goodies. Hang out with us. It's open to everybody, so please come and hang out. Love you guys. Thank you to everybody that's a member. Thank you to everybody that does Rumble Premium and membership. You guys know how it rolls. Don't think it doesn't go unnoticed. It does. God bless you. Appreciate you. And yeah, I'll see you guys later today here on the Bull Bragg Show. Take care, Patriots.